All right, let me go back to this this woman, and I can't play the audio for you on television because it's so foul. But the two stories that I started with today. One is from Houston, where a woman is just at a gas station. She picks up a rifle and she shoots another man, and then she takes out her cell phone, takes a picture of him, and drives away. And I'm not really sure exactly why that is even there. Sarah, could you please drop the phone for me, please? I'm not really sure why that story is even... I don't understand why that story is up on the Blaze in some regards, because it's not something that impacts your life. The same thing with the woman who had her husband post a video of her on Facebook. It doesn't really affect your life, and yet I think it does. And as you watch this woman who is having an absolute temper tantrum, you realize she is either really, truly
mentally disturbed,
and her husband is kind of mentally disturbed as well.
Yeah, to be laughing at her like that.
Yeah. But I don't think I don't think she is just mentally disturbed. I think mental disturbances are happening because we are a society completely unhinged. I don't know what sanity is anymore. Tell me what the definition of sanity is. Is it $17 trillion in debt while we're still asking for more? Is it our world is burning down with violence, and yet we're saying, yeah, well, let's send some more military. Let's send some more military resources over to the people who have said on tape they want to kill us. I don't know what the definition of sanity is anymore. And when I watched that videotape, I saw those two stories last night, and I thought to myself, we are in interesting times. Men now are lovers of themselves. They're not in love with anything but themselves. Geraldo Rivera, tweeting a picture of himself. He is a lover of himself, not truth, himself. We are covetous. With Al Sharpton boasting that he took the anger and he organized that anger. Look at our president, the way he stands with his chin up in the air like Mussolini. We are proud. We are arrogant. We are blasphemous. Chanting Hail Satan just outside of the Capitol in Austin.
For abortion rights.
We are disobedient to our parents. Tell me the respect that we have for parents anymore. I want my health care. You've had yours, Grandma. Remember that quote? We are unthankful. How many times have your kids really been grateful for anything? Really, truly grateful. We are unholy. We don't have natural affection towards people anymore. We don't have natural affection. We're turning into those people in China that, remember that video that came out about a year ago where a kid was run over in the street and they just kept running over him and people would actually step over this child? Do you remember that? We are losing our natural affection for each other. We are truce breakers. Do our allies even know where we stand? Does our word mean anything anymore? We're false accusers. You're a racist. It's your fault. We are despisers of those that are good. We are traitors. We are heady. We are high-minded. We are lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. There are those who have the form of godliness. At the same time, those who have the form of godliness deny the power of God. Men are corrupt. And those who are godly, those who try to stand for those things that are right, are suffering persecution and soon prosecution. I'll give you a story from San Antonio here in a moment that will blow your mind. And evil men become worse and worse. This is the scripture that I read last night. I tweeted just the scripture. The problem? What time is it? 2 Timothy chapter 3. That's what I've just quoted. And I lay in bed last night, truly frightened for my country and mankind in a different way. Not about the red, white, and blue, but about humanity. And then I turned the page to chapter 4. As I thought to myself, so what do we do? What do we do? Tell the truth. Tell the universal, everlasting truth. Say it with everything in you. Reprove, rebuke, exhort, beg if you have to, with all long-suffering, endurance, because the time will come. The time is here when most people just will not be able to endure the truth. They'll chase after their own lusts and their own desires, and they'll heap those things on themselves, and they will surround themselves with teachers and professors and educated of the world to give them and tell them the things they want to hear. And they will turn their ears and their heads, and they will no longer even listen to the truth. And then they will just start listening and accepting fables. But we have to keep our eye on the truth. And nothing grand, nothing profound, if you will, nothing earth-shattering, nothing that anybody had to study for, 40 years. I spent my whole life. Simple truth. And endure all the things that will happen. and become an evangelist for that truth. The truth that there is a God. He's going to judge all of us in the end. He's the only time that there will ever be true justice. There will never be justice. There will never be equality. There will never be anything because man is involved. But there is coming a time when he will judge. And whether it's you or the other guy that gets it in the end, I got it. I'll be judged. You'll be judged. And so maybe we should serve him. And the best way to serve him is to serve our fellow man. And how do we serve our fellow man? You know what? As a parent, there are times when you just cannot console your own children. There's nothing you can say. They're beyond reason. And you just hold them. And you just tell them it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Because I know tomorrow comes. And I know we can start all over. And I know, honey, you don't want to hear this. But this will make us stronger. It's going to be okay. Find the truth. And dedicate your life to it. I'm a watchman on the tower. And it is my responsibility to tell you the things that I see coming. But once I've told you, you are the watchman on the tower. If you don't say it, if you don't preach it, if you don't dedicate your life as much as I dedicate my life, every second of the day I'm trying to figure out how do I get more people to understand. If you don't do it, judgment's on you, not me. It's your job.